response to the ever-changing dynamics in the world of technology, the importance of keeping weapons upgraded for evolving needs cannot be overemphasized, and nations are equally invested in keeping their weapons of warfare from becoming obsolete and also developing new ones. As a result of continuous evolution, the United States has also introduced a groundbreaking upgrade to one of its gunships, transforming an already formidable weapon into a globally feared asset. What are the capabilities of this weapon? What upgrade did it undergo? Join us as we look into the details of the United States' new AS-130J Gunship and the laser weapon it got after its upgrade. The Lockheed AC-130 is no ordinary gunship. It is an extremely powerful and durable ground version of the C-130 Hercules aircraft. The aircraft was officially named Ghost Rider in May 2012. This fighter is equipped with the most lethal ground attack weapons, advanced sensors, and control systems. Unlike the recent advanced aircrafts, the AC-130 uses visual targeting and often conducts close air support missions during night due to its large sizes and low operating altitudes. These characteristics make it vulnerable during the day. The latest variant, the AC-130J, is the fifth-generation gunship that was built to replace the old fleet of AC-130U and AC-130W gunships. AC-130 gunships have an extensive combat history that goes way back to Vietnam, where these gunships destroyed more than 10,000 trucks and were credited with many life-saving close air support missions. The AC-130J Ghost Rider completed its test flight in January 2014, while Corey Martin stated his plans to deliver 37 AC-130J Ghost Rider aircraft to the Air Force Special Operations Command by 2025. The total investment for the AC-130J Ghost Rider program is estimated to reach $2.4 billion. The MC-130J arrived at Eglin Air Force Base for conversion into the AC-130J configuration on January 2013. The previous design review for the AC-130J program was concluded in March 2013, while the Operational Test Readiness Review and the Critical Design Review were conducted in April 2013 and August 2013, respectively. Northrop Grumman Corporation was awarded a contract by the AFSOC to supply radio frequency countermeasure platforms for the AC-130J aircraft in January 2016, while BAE Systems was contracted to provide new electronic warfare systems for the AC-130J Ghost Rider aircraft in July 2017. The initial operational capacity for 16 aircraft of the AC-130J Ghost Rider fleet was achieved in September 2017. The first upgraded Block 30 AC-130J Ghost Rider was delivered to the U.S. Air Force Special Operations Command in March 2019. It will undergo further testing and will ultimately replace the AC-130U Spooky gunship in operation with the 4th Special Operations Squadron. The last aircraft of the initial 16 is scheduled for delivery in 2021. The AC-130J Ghost Rider incorporated the flying proficiencies of the MC-130J and the air-to-ground combat capabilities of the AC-130. It will conduct continuous strike operations, including close air support for troops in contact, convoy escort, and point air defense. Air support missions are executed against pre-planned targets and targets of opportunity. The aircraft is capable of air refueling with the Universal Air Refueling Receptacle Slipway Installation System, but is not fitted with the external hose and drogue pods for refueling other aircraft. This gunship was mainly designed to help troops on the ground, protect convoys, and defend specific areas. It also carries out missions to attack planned targets or seize opportunities, including coordinating strikes, gathering information, and providing protection. It provides ground troops with an expeditionary direct fire platform that is persistent, ideally suited for urban operations, and delivers precision low-yield munitions against ground targets. In terms of size, the AC-130J Ghost Rider has an overall length of 29.3 meters, a height of 11.9 meters, and a wingspan of 39.8 meters. It can operate at a maximum altitude of 28,000 feet with payloads of 42,000 pounds. Its maximum takeoff weight is 164,000 pounds. The next-generation gunship aircraft can accommodate 2 pilots, 2 combat systems officers, and 3 enlisted gunners. It is also designed to accommodate the Large Aircraft Infrared Countermeasure System. The AC-130J is fitted with an ALR-56M radar warning receiver, an AAR-47V2 missile warning system, and an ALE-47 countermeasures dispensing system for reduced susceptibility. The safety and protection systems of the aircraft includes a fuel protection system from ullage explosion, redundant flight-critical components, and Kinetic's Last Lightweight Composite Armor System to protect crew locations and oxygen supply areas from 7.62mm ball projectiles. USOCOM's Precision Strike Package armament of the AC-130J Ghost Rider. The United States Special Operations Command developed and installed the Modular Precision Strike Package for the aircraft. The armament kits under the PSP include a 30mm GAU-23 automatic side-firing chain gun, a 105mm cannon, a standoff precision-guided munitions comprising wing-mounted GBU-39 small-diameter bombs and AGM-176 Griffin laser-guided missiles. Internally mounted missiles can be launched through the rear cargo door. The intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance equipment under the PSP includes 2 electro-optical infrared sensors, an all-weather synthetic aperture radar pod, a pilot helmet-mounted cueing system, and multiple video data and communication links. A dual-console mission operator pallet within the cargo bay controls all the PSP subsystems. It is also equipped with advanced fire control equipment, engines, and performance. The aircraft is fitted with 4 Rolls-Royce AE-2100D3 turboprops with a thrust power of 3,458 kilowatts each. AE-2100D3 engines are 3.15 meters in length and 0.37 meters in diameter. The engines drive 4 6-bladed Dowty propellers. AG-130J Ghost Rider is equipped with 60 to 90 kilovolt amp generators, providing increased direct current electrical output. The aircraft can reach a maximum distance of 3,000 miles without refueling and can fly at a speed of 362 kilometers per hour at 22,000 feet altitude. For the last 40 years, AC-130s have been regularly sent to war zones worldwide to support special and regular forces in South America, Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. These gunships have played a big role in achieving mission goals. The latest AC-130J Ghost Riders from the U.S. Air Force have been involved in combat missions in Afghanistan since June 2019. The new gunships replaced the AC-130U Spooky, which had been helping the United States Coalition Special Operations Forces and their Afghan partners in Afghanistan. Those Spooky gunships have now come back to the United States, signaling the end of their planned combat missions. The Northwest Florida Daily News was the first to report on June 28, 2019, that the AC-130J had completed its first ever combat mission in Afghanistan. The Ghost Rider gunships are in high demand in the skies of Afghanistan, where they provide close air support and armed overwatch to U.S. and Afghan operations. AC-130Js have already flown hundreds of sorties since beginning combat missions in June, said Colonel Terrence Taylor, commander of Combined Joint Special Operations Air Component Afghanistan. The deployment of the AC-130Js and the end of scheduled combat operations for the AC-130Us very much marks a shift in U.S. military's gunship operations as well. The Spooky gunships, which entered service in 1995, are the last of the Air Force's old-school AC-130 gunships, with a 5-barrel 25mm GAU-12/U Gatling cannon, a single-barrel 40mm Bofors cannon, and a 105mm howitzer as their only armament. These aircraft were a direct evolution of the original Vietnam War-era AC-130s. By all indications, the AC-130Us are also the last platform of any kind in the U.S. military to use the 40mm Bofors gun, a World War II-era weapon which proved to be a deadly aerial weapon, but also increasingly hard to operate and maintain. The Air Force had found itself scouring the world for spare parts in the early 2000s and rebuilding 40mm ammunition from the 1940s in recent years to keep the guns operational. The Ghost Rider comes with the standard 105mm cannon and an additional 30mm GAU-23A autocannon and a suite of precision-guided munitions that include the GBU-39B small-diameter bombs, GBU-44B Viper Strike glide bomb, GVU-69 small glide munition, AGM-176 Griffin missile, and AGM-114 Hellfire missiles. The 30mm cannon is precise. It can pretty much hit first shot and first kill. Then 1st Special Operations Wing Commander Colonel Tom Polensky told U.S. Military News, added that the Ghost Rider is going to be the most lethal of all time, probably the most requested weapon system from ground forces in the history of warfare. Let us take a look at the general specification of the AC-130, its features and design. The Lockheed AC-130 gunship is a tough, long-lasting plane with lots of weapons, based on the C-130 Hercules transport aircraft. It's designed for ground attacks and comes with advanced sensors, navigation, and fire control systems. Unlike many other military planes, the AC-130 relies on visual targeting. Because it's an easy target due to its large size and low flying altitude, it usually carries out close air support missions at night. While Lockheed Martin made the airframe, Boeing converted it into a gunship and provided support. The AC-130, originally known as the Project Gunship 2, replaced the Douglas AC-47 Spooky, or Gunship 1. The United States Air Force is the only operator, making use of variants like AC-130U Spooky and AC-130W Stringer TWP for tasks such as close air support, air interdiction, and force protection. The upgraded AC-130J Ghost Rider is also in service. This gunship plays various roles that include supporting ground troops, escorting convoys, and urban operations for close air support. For air interdiction missions, the gunship goes after planned and even unexpected targets. The AC-130 has a cabin without pressurization, and its weapons are arranged in such a way that allows it to shoot from the left side of the fuselage. In an attack, the gunship does a pylon turn, which means that it flies in a big circle around its target. This allows it to shoot at the target for a longer time and destroy it better than the regular strafing attack. The AC-130H Spectre used to have two 20mm M61 Vulcan cannons and M137 105mm with M37 recoil mechanism from the M102 howitzer. After 1994, the 20mm cannons were taken out and the upgraded AC-130U Spooky replaced the Spectre's two 20mm cannons with a 25mm GAU-12 equalizer cannon. It also has an advanced fire control system and more capacity to carry ammunition. The AC-130J was developed due to the MC-130J Commando 2 Special Operations tankers. The AC-130W Stringer 2 is a changed C-130H with upgrades that includes the ability to make a precise strike. The AC-130U has a special equipment that is called AN/APQ-180. This equipment is a synthetic aperture radar used for finding and recognizing targets from far away. This gunship makes use of navigational tools like inertial navigation systems and a global positioning system. The AC-130U possesses a technology from the 1990s that allows it to attack two targets at the same time, and it can carry twice as much ammunition like the AC-130H. During the Vietnam War, they picked the C-130 Hercules to replace the Douglas AC-47 Spooky gunship. They wanted to improve how long the aircraft could stay in the air for missions and increase how much ammunition it could carry. The AC-47 flew faster than helicopters and at high altitudes for a long time, and it used a special maneuver called a pylon turn to shoot continuously and accurately at a single spot on the ground. In 1967, they chose a JC-130A with the serial number 541626 to turn into the first AC-130A gunship. They made the changes at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. They added a special night vision telescope in the front door, a forward-looking infrared device in the left wheel well, and miniguns and rotary cannons facing down and backward along the left side. An analog fire control computer prototype was made by RAF Wing Commander Tom Pinkerton at the USAF Avionics Laboratory. They tested the prototype mostly at Eglin Air Force Base, and after some tests and changes, by September 1967, the plane was ready for combat testing. It was flown to NHA Trang Air Base in South Vietnam for a 90-day test program. Later on, the AC-130 was joined by the AC-119 Shadow, but the AC-119 turned out to be not powerful enough. In 1968, 7 more planes were changed to the Plain Jane setup, similar to the AC-130 prototype. Later, in 1969, one plane got the surprise package upgrade, which included new 20mm rotary autocannons and a 40mm Bofors cannon, but no 7.62mm close support armament. This surprise package setup was like a testing ground for the AC-130E systems and weapons. In 1970, they got 10 more AC-130As as part of the PAVE Prontos project. In the summer of 1971, the surprise package AC-130s were changed to the PAVE Pronto setup and got a new nickname, Thor. After that, they started turning C-130Es into AC-130Es for the PAVE Spectre project. Despite these project names, people mostly called the planes by the squadron's nickname, Spectre. In 2007, AFSOC started a program to upgrade the weapons on AC-130s. They plan to replace the 25mm GAU-12/U and 40mm Bofors cannon on the AC-130U gunships with two 30ME Mk-44 Bushmaster 2 cannons. They modified 4 AC-130U gunships as test platforms for the Bushmasters, known as AC-130U+4. However, AFSOC decided not to use the new cannons on its AC-130Us and went back to the original 40ME and 25mm cannons, putting the planes back into combat duty. Brigadier General Bradley A. Heithold, AFSOC's director, said on August 11, 2008, that they canceled the effort because the Bushmaster's accuracy was a problem in tests at the altitude we were employing it, and there were also schedule issues. There were plans to maybe replace the 105mm cannon with a breech-loading 120mm M120 mortar. They also thought about giving the AC-130 the ability to attack from a distance using either the AGM-114 Hellfire missile, the Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System, or the Viper Strike glide bomb. In 2010, the Air Force gave L3 Communications a $61 million contract to upgrade 8 MC-130W Combat Spear Special Mission aircraft with precision strike packages, costing about $80.3 million in 2022. These upgraded MC-130Ws are called Dragon Spears, and they are equipped with a gunship-like attack capability. AFSOC is adding weapons to these planes to reduce the workload on AC-130 gunships until new AC-130Js are in use. The MC-130W Dragon Spear was later renamed AC-130W Stinger II in 2011. The precision strike packages include a 30 mm gun and various precision-guided munitions. The wings have rails for 4 Hellfire missiles, SDBs or SDB-2s on each side. There are also 10 common launch tubes on the rear ramp to fire Griffin A missiles, with extra missiles stored in the aircraft for reloading during flight. The launch tubes can also fire other small munitions that fit inside them. The AC-130J Ghost Rider came from an initiative in 2011 to get 16 new gunships. These would be based on newly built MC-130J Combat Shadow, 2 special operations tankers with a precision strike package to give them an attack capability. The plan was to request $1.6 billion from fiscal years 2011 through 2015 to increase the gunship fleet to 33 aircraft, adding 8 after retiring 8 aging AC-130Hs. The first aircraft would be bought in fiscal 2012, followed by 2 in fiscal 2013, 5 in fiscal 2014, and the final 8 in fiscal 2015. They decided to keep the C-130 after removing funding for 16 C-27Js from the fiscal 2010 budget. The AC-130J was supposed to be like the Dragon Spear program. In January 2013, the Air Force started changing the first MC-130J Combat Shadow 2 into an AC-130J. The first AC-130J was given to AF-SOS on July 29, 2015. The first AC-130J gunships were ready for action on September 30, 2017. The AC-130J has 2 parts. Block 10 has an internal 30M gun, small diameter bombs, and laser-guided missiles launched from the rear cargo door. Block 20 added a 105mm cannon, large aircraft infrared countermeasures, wing-mounted Hellfire missiles, and radio frequency countermeasures. The Air Force decided to add a 105mm Yemi cannon to the AC-130J, along with the 30M Yemi cannon and smart bombs. The shells of the 105mm Yemi cannon are more accurate and cheaper than dropping SDBs. AFSOC also wanted to put a directed energy weapon on the AC-130J by 2022, similar to the previous Advanced Tactical Laser program. It was supposed to make a beam of up to 120 kilowatt or even 180 to 200 kilowatt, weigh about 5,000 pounds, destroy anti-aircraft missiles defensively, and attack communication towers, boats, cars, and aircraft offensively. The laser would only be on a few aircraft, not the whole AC-130J fleet. It would be placed on the side instead of the 30mm cannon. AFSOC decided against it because putting the laser on the side would cause too much air turbulence and disrupt the beam. Other ideas included an active denial system for airborne crowd control and small unmanned aerial vehicles from the CLTs to provide video and coordinates to weapons operators through clouds. Called the Tactical Offboard Sensor, the drones would fly in a set path to check targets that the aircraft can't see because of bad weather or air defenses. AFSOC planned to use the Raytheon Coyote small UAV for the TOBS mission initially, but they wanted a new drone with a 4-hour endurance by 2019. The Air Force also wanted a glide bomb for the CLTs that can hit ground vehicles going as fast as 120 kilometers per hour while above 10,000 FT. In June 2016, Dynetics got a contract to put its tactical munition on the AC-130. It's called the GBU-69/B Small Glide Munition, weighing 27 kilograms and armed with a 16 kg blast fragmentation warhead. It can explode on impact or at a chosen height. Thanks for watching. While you're still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.